storage unit finds. I never watched Storage Wars. Yeah. I wanted to work at a storage unit place. Yeah. Let's hear what Meat has to say, guys.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're looking into the odd and disgusting world of storage units. Is stuff starting to pile up in your house? Are you running out of room? Are friends and family starting to make weird comments about your life choices? Fear not, friend. Because there is a simple solution that may only cost you roughly $20 a month, allowing you to relocate your hoard of filth elsewhere. So first off, love Storage Wars. Fake TV show, love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds of videos online of verticals of people like they find tons of money. It's all fake.
I was about to say, bro, what's the actual chances of you doing? Like, bro, that shit has to be capped, bro. You're just not opening a random storage unit and finding a bunch of fucking bread stashed away in somebody's old jukebox with the fucking secret compartment and shit. Like, come on, bro.
Wrong. I bet you there are storage units where people find some crazy shit, but I want to know what's some real crazy shit someone's found. I want some disgusting, depraved stuff, and that's what we're going to dive into today. All right, storage unit.
Imagine just like a jar of shit. But yeah, just imagine it's like a jar of shit, or like just a big ass jar of fucking toenail clippings or some nasty shit, bro. That's probably exactly what the book you about to say too.
Units are a great solution for those with too many possessions. The services range from small rooms to large garages, and these labyrinths are found worldwide and hold all sorts of strange items. However, these large steel buildings are not as safe as you may think. From burglaries to insane tenants and even murder, storage facilities are the Wild West of urban cities with chaos hiding behind every turn. So grab your padlocks and steel boots as we get ready to lift the door on the strange ongoings of storage units. I lived in a storage unit for 2 months.
How was it?
Horrible.
Oh.
It's horrible. It's hot. There's no power really.
Did you crank the door open a little bit?
That's crazy though. Hold on.
No.
That's true.
That's crazy though, because I did actually thought about living in a storage unit, bro. Bro, I want to fucking so bad, bro. It fucking sucks here. Oh my god, bro! I thought about moving into a storage unit. I thought about moving into a fucking, like, you know, one of them little garages, like just like a single car garage. But I was thinking, like, I ain't gonna lie, what the fuck I'm gonna do about like a shower and shit, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that would be elite setup if I just had like a bike or some shit. But yeah, no.
Great. Just lock it. Have like a little heater in there and. Doesn't matter. Don't need to know about my life. If you've ever watched shows like Storage Wars, which was one of the most popular shows of the 2010s, it goes without saying that there are all sorts of crazy things to be discovered in storage units. Storage Wars followed a competitive group of buyers traveling from auction to auction, trying to see who could make the most money with the units they purchased, right? $500, sold to the guy for $500. Now I need to make $500 plus more money for $500.
Who is this? I remember seeing him and stuff, but I haven't seen him in anything in like years. Is he dead? Somebody let me know in the comments if he did. I ain't looking at it.
Sold to the guy for $500. Now I need to make $500 plus more money for profit. That's the show. That's every episode. And there's some bickering here and there. It's trash television. It's also all completely fake. It doesn't matter. Still, eat it up all day. Love that shit. That's what I do. I watch Storage Wars is on. That's what I do. Over the years, some of the people on the show have found insane things like rare art collections and priceless vehicles. And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to talk about today. Starting in 2018, a man who bought a unit for $500 and was so excited about what he found that he approached Storage Wars auctioneers Dan Dotson to spread the word. Inside the unit was a lock safe and took multiple attempts and 2 different locksmiths before the code was finally cracked. When they opened the safe, they were greeted with $7.5 million in cold, hard cash. I'd come. I'm not even joking. I would be leaking. I'd be oozing the honey. The maple is going down the tree. You know what I mean? It would be a beehive in my pants.
That has to be capped. That has to be capped. There's no way someone forgets $7.5 million in a storage unit. I bet my life on that. No fucking way.
This is what I'm saying. Sticky. News of the discovery made it back to the original owners of the unit. Realizing their money had just been sold for less than 1% of its worth, they contacted the buyer with a lawyer offering $600,000 for the unit and the money. No. After intense back and forth, both parties settled on a reward of $1.2 million, and the owner received their money back in full. You still got it.
How the fuck do you forget about 7.5? Huh? Yeah, bro, that has to be capped. There's no way. None of that story doesn't even make sense. Who forgets $7.5 million in a storage container, bro? Unless you're like fucking Jeff Bezos or fucking no.
But I would have been like, I'm not fucking giving you shit. That's also why you lie. You lie and say, I found $3 million in a deal. I'm not gonna tell people about the other $4.5 million. Come on.
So wait, also, is this the owner of the original storage unit or the?
This is the owner of that's like his unit. That's his money. So he's like, wait, what? Because he's probably like, I forgot about it. It's in there. No one will ever find it. Well, how do you not pay it? I don't know. But suspicious in my opinion. This is I feel like a lot of dubious activities, dude. How do we know it's real? That's the thing now. You can't trust anything. If anything, now I'm like, it's just a headline to get some good press. Many believe that the cash was unmarked and was being held in a locker to avoid the law. Storage lockers are typically used for non-perishable items, and while some are climate controlled, it's never a good idea to store food inside. During a routine lock check, a manager began to smell a funky, sweet smell emanating from a nearby locker. When they opened the door, they found 4 large 55-gallon drums. They slowly opened the barrels and found that inside the unit was over 200 gallons of maple syrup. Oh man. Can you imagine that? We gotta keep those. Relieved that it wasn't anything serious, they contacted the owner and asked why they were storing so much liquid inside the facility. The owner said nothing. The manager didn't remove the syrup, but did notice that bugs and other vermin were starting to hoard around the locker.
I think they stole the syrup. I think it was a little syrup thief.
So you think that these are people that like they went to the Aunt Jemima factory?
Yeah.
Does syrup go bad?
I don't think it does.
I think about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen bad syrup. Editor note: Can syrup go bad?
I don't believe that. No, but it can get old.
Editor, also, sorry, do some math. Aunt Jemima is how big? So if there's that many 55-gallon barrels, how much maple syrup is that? And is it worth the headache?
I feel like that's like $400,000 worth of maple syrup.
There's no way it's that much money. I'm gonna guess it's maybe a little over $1,000 worth of maple syrup. Like not enough to me. I'd like to have to carry the barrels in there. There's no way it's worth it.
Oh, did we say 455? I was thinking like 55 gallons.
Even then, you think that's $400,000 worth of condiments? It's a condiment at the end of the day. I love how high you price maple syrup, dude. A lot of storage facilities act as graveyards for deceased people's stuff. Once the person is gone, their belongings can sit there for years until the container is auctioned off along with the stuff inside. One of the most common finds is war memorabilia left behind by veterans. Usually it's old medals, uniforms, and guns, but on rare occasions, it leads to live arsenals being discovered, aka they have like a fucking bomb. Out in Rockwell, Texas, bomb squads were called to a storage space containing what they were told were live military-grade munitions. When they arrived, they were greeted with boxes of hand grenades, old ammo, and even live tank rounds.
They stumbled on somebody Doomsday's freaking locker. That's exactly what that is. It was getting ready for the end of days.
I want to take them. My business is not done. After safely removing all the explosives, they were taken to a nearby field and detonated. God, what a fun day. How sick would that be? Well, you got to use them. Look at your buddy. You're making my dreams come true. Oh, that's
So did they get the watch?
Yeah. The people blowing them up?
Or about the people who bought the storage unit?
Oh, they better. I'd be like, yeah, this fucking bullshit. You better let me blow. I'd be like, you need to rent me a tank so I can shoot this. I feel like you can rent tanks for not that much either. There's no guns. Like they're not operating, but you can drive them. That's a lot of places you can do. You can like run over cars with them and stuff.
Oh, but in a location, you can't just take it to your house.
No, it's
okay.
No. No, the treads would tear up the road. The city would be very mad. It is unclear who the previous owner was and how they acquired such a dangerous collection.
I like to think it was a Nazi.
Why would you like to think that? Why does that like give you a smile of thinking that?
I don't know, just I don't know. I said like.
A little Freudian slip, probably. At a different facility in Pennsylvania, police removed nearly 60 homemade explosive devices.
What
bombs would be stored. Kind of makes me want to steer clear of them. Now every time I go by a storage unit, I'm gonna be like, motherfucker's getting ready to blow.
Probably statistically, there's probably one storage unit with explosives in every single.
I would say, yeah. If there's a storage container,
I believe that, bro. Because, like I said, if that's what somebody ended the world like prep stuff that was in there, bro. Most people or like a lot of the crazies that believe that crap, they don't got money to make like bunkers and all that. They just gonna throw it in a storage unit. Shit goes to hell. Oh yeah, let me go to my storage unit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's smart, but at the same time, it's freaking retarded.
Inner area, there's got to be one locker that has explosives in it. That's what they have in the contract too. There are probably explosives somewhere in here. I don't know. Sign here. Investigators discovered the bombs while investigating the owner for a massive Ponzi scheme. While searching his locker in hopes of finding more evidence, investigators instead uncovered explosives. In total, police removed 60 PVC pipe bombs and over 400 cardboard explosives. Motherfucker, a Home Depot terrorist. The owner, Svon Merchenthaler, was arrested and sentenced to 11 years in prison for illegal possession of explosive and weapons.
That guy was starting a revolution.
That guy was getting ready. I'm like, some bank just got spared because that motherfucker was going in with that Office Depot fit. If you go digging through people's stuff, you were bound to find creepy items that they didn't want you to see in the light of day. In Florida, a former medical examiner's dirty secrets were aired out when he defaulted on his storage payments. Dr. Michael Berkland, a medical examiner based out of Pensacola from 1997 to 2003, was fired for not creating proper autopsy reports. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this sounds good.
My asshole immediately did. Following his departure, he continued performing autopsies until 2007, when he stopped altogether. And in 2012, Michael's storage locker was auctioned off for $900 as he could no longer afford it. When the new owner started digging through the stuff, he found a stack of boxes in the back corner and was disgusted by what he found. Inside were organs belonging to over 100 different people. Brains,
Bro, them boxes just said books on it. That's sick.
Lungs, livers, and hearts were all found in formaldehyde. That would be a smell alone. When you open...
Wait, but if it's formaldehyde, don't that mean that it's not gonna stink? Or is it the formaldehyde, you know what I'm saying, the smell of that? But like, yo, that's wild. I bet he just thought he was about to get paid. He definitely was just trying to sell them Jones, bro. Trying to get some easy cash.
that store, you would have to smell it. Formaldehyde is strong.
But it should be sealed, right?
Yeah, but I would still think of, 100? I would assume that you'd be like, it smells weird in here. Which maybe all storage units have like a funk. But formaldehyde, I feel like you can smell that shit still. I feel like it would emanate a little bit of scent. Even worse, the organs were stored in basic Tupperware and double gulp cups from local gas stations.
That definitely has a smell then. I thought they were in jars.
Oh my God, not even glass.
I thought it was like in jars or something, bro. In Tupperware containers, dog. Yo, he better still be in jail.
Jars, plastic Tupperware, and big gulp cups, dude. Fucking big gulp cups. Police quickly tracked down Dr. Berkland, and all of the organs were removed. He was charged with keeping a public nuisance, improper storage of hazardous waste, and driving with a suspended license.
Threw that on top.
They're like, we gotta make sure we get this motherfucker. 10 families were notified of their deceased loved ones being found in the locker. Michael never faced any jail time.
How?
Because he posted his $10,000 bond and walked away. Posted $10,000 bond, but was unable to afford the storage. I'm telling you, every one of these is just a little suspicious, isn't it? To be fair, if he's putting the brains and organs in big gulp containers, I don't think he really gives a fuck that much.
He doesn't,
kind of cool.
bro. He was trying to sell that shit.
In there.
I want to know why he did it. Do you think it's just trophies?
Probably. If you're doing the autopsy stuff, you have to have a fascination with the human body in some way where you're maybe they're probably like prize organs. That's the most beautiful liver I've ever seen.
You got to take a little trophy every time you cut someone open.
Well, exactly. You're not gonna need this in hell.
I thought he was going to do something much more diabolical.
I thought he was fucking dead bodies. Because also, that's another thing too. People that do autopsies and shit, this is me just completely speculating and no real fact to it. I imagine all those people fuck the bodies. I think men that have dead women in there, I think they definitely have sexual
Actually,
bodies.
I think I've read that women are actually more likely to do something to the body.
If a guy dies with a boner, the boner stays. Because the blood stays there, right? Because it's not circulating anymore.
That's actually true? Wait, no way. That's actually true?
Because the blood stays there.
Fact check, true. Blood can often accumulate in the pelvic region depending on the closet. Yo, that's wild.
There, right? Because it's not circulating anymore. What would a woman do?
Now that I said that, I don't know.
Fingers all calcified, whatever, and she's just like,
hey guys, that just reminded me of this one story, bro. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, W freaking ad catch. But yo, it was this one story. This chick said that she was like seeing this dude, and like they started, you know what I'm saying? And then like after a while, like her shit started to smell like bad, and like one time she found a maggot in that joint. I'm like, the fuck? So come to find out, Bull is a medical examiner and was fucking the fucking bodies, bro. He was fucking the dead bodies and then coming home and fucking her. Bro, when I found out about it, I dead ass went to throw up, bro. Like, that is nasty. That is nasty, bro. Like, that, you deserve death. Death. Oh my god. I ain't gonna lie. Shawty should have killed, boy.
But Dr. Brooklyn wasn't the only one misusing a storage unit. While his story may have been the most grotesque, others have turned the spaces into makeshift homes. The price of rent has become nearly unaffordable across the United States, causing people to look for cheaper places to live besides being outright homeless. Many have chosen to move into storage units. Certain storage facilities offer climate-controlled units, plug-ins, and public bathrooms, covering all the basic essentials one would need to in basically an apartment. With the average size of a container being 10 feet by 10 feet, that is more than enough room to fit a single bed and a small kitchen. Plus, storage facilities cover the cost of the utilities, so really saving some money. Granted, you're in a rat cage, but still, out of the rain. So long as you can afford the cheap monthly payment, you can live well within your means. And one woman chose to move into a storage locker after her rent was raised from $850 to $1,300 because the building had to be rebuilt after a tornado leveled it. Which I want to say, that's unfair. That's a huge jump too. My God, $800 to $1,300. Holy fuck.
That was just an excuse to raise rent.
Bro,
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had to do a new one. I have to do it. It's like, fuck you, dude. Yeah, right. In 2021, Mayfield, Kentucky was hit by a massive tornado that left most of the town in ruin. Angie paid her rent by driving for Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Lyft, and was barely making her rent. But after the tornado destroyed her building, it was sold to new owners who raised the rent to $1,300 a month to help pay for the renovations. Tired of living in a one-bedroom apartment with a collapsed roof, she decided enough was enough and packed up all of her things and lived in her car. Since her car was crammed with stuff, she couldn't do ride sharing anymore, so she decided to rent a storage unit. At the time, she also began dumpster diving for Nike shoes and selling them online, which we've discussed too. The dumpster diving thing, good way to make quick cash, especially if they're nice shoes. Why the fuck not? So she upgraded to a larger unit to store her inventory after discovering it had a power outlet. She brought in items like a fan and lamps and eventually decided to stop sleeping in her car and live in her locker full time. Angie was able to live in the facility for quite a while, living off her Uber and Grubhub money. However, she was eventually evicted because she was found storing her stuff in units she didn't pay for. All right, Angie. Angie was kind of...
How you fuck up the bag that much, Angie? Damn. Bro, how the hell you got it that sweet and then you... Yo, people are stupid. They always want to take advantage, bro. People are never satisfied.
She was rolling hot. She was like a Scorsese like protagonist in a movie, and then that's the thing. That's the thing that flew too close to the sun. To make things worse, she lost her Uber and Lyft license because of a DUI from 34 years ago, and has since moved to a different, cheaper storage facility where she lives now. I want to say that's fucking bullshit. 34 years ago I had a DUI, and that's an Uber gets me for that. Word? How about you fucking forgive and forget, dude?
People must have complained that they maybe smelled alcohol on her.
She keeps putting stuff in my storage locker, and I think she's drunk. What if it was that? On TikTok, a couple went mega viral for showing off their elaborate home inside a storage locker. ḻʀᴜᴅ Brown and his partner run multiple social media accounts under the name Fullest Nest and have gone viral because of a video showing off their storage unit. Hidden behind a wall of boxes was a full-blown apartment, complete with a couch, dressers, and a small kitchen. ḻʀᴜᴅ claimed he could run through the halls for exercise, use the bathroom whenever he wanted, and play loud music without disturbing anyone. This video would not only build his online following, but also get him kicked out once the property manager saw the video. Following the move out, Brown and his partner had been living in the woods inside a tent and getting continually evicted because he would post where he was squatting on private property. Buddy, give up the social media thing. That or lie about your location. Holy shit. Today, the couple lives permanently inside a hotel room and uses generous donations to help them stay out of storage lockers. Despite there being numerous instances of people living inside these facilities, it is actually against the law to do so. Some places have input extreme measures to ensure that people don't attempt to create makeshift homes. Managers are trained to identify suspicious activity and contact the police as soon as they suspect someone is living inside a unit. Additionally, more security guards are being hired to patrol, making it increasingly difficult to stay overnight. New locations are being built to be more hostile inside, with no restrooms on the property, no electricity or temperature control, and even poor circulation to prevent air from circulating.
Damn.
Excessive. It really seems like storage facilities are growing more heartless by the day, and the staff shows no sympathy, which comes across some as dehumanizing. If someone's just like, I want to rent this unit, I'm going to stay inside, I'm storing myself.
I mean, fuck it.
What's the big fucking deal?
Yeah.
It's a violation. It's a code violation. Also, you're not paying enough rent to live there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you think they're just like, well, you just give me somebody using the bathroom way more. Utilities are going to go up.
I'm going to start my own storage facility, and then I'm going to have an option to live in the storage unit for a little extra.
You have to sign a waiver being like, if you die from a heat stroke in here because I've done the AC sucks, you're in a storage unit. Okay, you can't sue me. I mean, you need to realize this is a storage unit. So they don't come to me and be like,
all they gotta do for is just write up a decent contract and just say fuck it. I mean, that's what I would do. Cause like, bro, it's hard, bro. And like they said, New York sucks. New York, like as a city, it's cool. Like I kept saying I would want to move there if like I was ever rich. But like even then, I still wouldn't stay in the fucking city after I just seen the shit about New York being on an island, basically, and that is sinking. So I'm cool, but yeah, bro, help niggas out, bro. It's fucking hard out here.
it's too hot in here. Is it? You know what I mean? That's fair to me. Like any business, you're going to encounter weird customers, and storage centers are no exception. For some reason, the halls of metal doors and concrete flooring really get people hot and horny. Numerous cases of people getting caught having sex have been reported, and what is even more strange is that 90% of them are cheaters trying to find a hidden place to elope. I'm going to treat my baby right. I'm taking her to the storage unit. It's hot in here.
Because, yeah, you could set up a bed. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Easy. Damn, you need to calm your ass down. In Cleveland, Ohio, the chief of police was found cheating on his wife with another woman. Chief of police, so funny. Wes Snyder had served as police chief for a decade and was widely respected for his dedication to the city. Definitely respected by somebody. That all changed when workers at the storage facility noticed that he and Sharon Marr, a city nonprofit employee, were entering a unit together for 60 to 90 minutes several times a week. God damn, good for you. God damn, 60 to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
This boy knows how to put in some hours. I mean, like, realistically, I was gonna be like 20 minutes. When the staff opened the doors, they found the couple having sex in a makeshift sex dungeon. The dirty deed took place on a rug with pillows and blankets. Other things like alcohol, baby wipes, paper towels, and hairbrush were found inside. God damn.
It's very depressing.
It's a very depressing locker. If you're the chief of police, can you not, can you not get a bed? Get a hotel, dude. God damn. A sex dungeon, too. I mean, it really is. It's just a thing where it's just like, this is our fuck shack. I call this the raccoon trap. After 33 years of service, quickly resigned, and both parties issued an apology to the city council. I wouldn't have fucking resigned. Oh, so what? I have a storage unit where I sometimes I go there by myself and I beat off. Crime rate's low, is it not? All right, well, good luck when this city goes to shit. Oh, man. It's becoming more difficult to be at a storage unit when nature calls. Bathrooms are now private use, and this has left some tenants to leave their shit elsewhere. At one facility, workers were alerted by a bucket found in the middle of an aisle.
That's crazy.
When they found it, they witnessed that it was filled to the brim with human feces. Filled to the brim. You think that's an exaggeration, or do you think it was just right to the...
Oh, I think, yeah. It's like, you know those videos where they're like the men doing the water challenge with a cup?
You're on a very gross tear today, dude. He was conveniently found in an aisle that didn't have a working camera, and it is believed that the person shit there on purpose. They're making a statement, dude. At an outdoor facility, a property manager hopped on his golf cart to patrol the grounds when he found a t-shirt discarded outside a unit. He reached down and tossed the shirt into the back of his cart, only to be hit by a spray of cold diarrhea.
What?
Nah. Well, yeah, that's actually sick. Oh my god, that is sick. Like,
Someone had used the shirt as toilet paper and covered it in feces. So everyone that's watching this video is clicked off, right?
Yeah, at this point.
They're gone. I'm talking to no one now. Online, multiple people have come together to tell their stories of how people will simply poop in trash cans or next to fire hydrants, like a dog.
What?
Another manager complained to having to deal with a serial pooper who stalked the grounds at night and pooped on buildings and the streets. Goddamn serial respect. You think he like shows up there like the sheriff's like looking at it? What is it? He's just like, I know who that's from. It curves to the left the same way. Poop is the least...
I was about to say, they just got a whole poop analysis boy there. He told us, like, yeah, he had corn that night. We are by the Outback, aren't we? I could tell by the little red streaks that he had his steak. He had leftovers. Like, bro, this, ew. People are disgusted, bro.
The staff's concerned because tenants are regularly found passed out or injured near their units. The owner of a storage facility was alerted to a specific unit after smelling smoke in the hallway. Smoked himself out. When they opened the door, they found the owner on the ground unconscious and a jerry-rigged kitchen cooking food. Got a big old like pork chop in there. Nothing I love more than cooking a pork chop in my storage unit. The renter had set up a hibachi grill. What? He was practicing? The renter had set up a hibachi grill and covered himself in the grill with a blanket to mask the smell, but asphyxiated himself with the smoke and fumes with a dipshit. He's doing that thing. He's like, dude, I'm doing that onion ring volcano. He's like, that's awesome. Blacks out immediately. A similar situation occurred during what the owners referred to as a dead body walk, when one of them discovered a customer passed out drunk in the middle of the aisle. The owner was drawn to the man when he found a long extension cord that spanned nearly the entire building. When he found the drunk, he passed out with a beer in one hand and the other down his pants. In front of him sat a TV and a VCR that was playing pornography.
Bro,
What a king.
no,
So he
these
was
niggas is
fucking jerking
overly
himself off
freaked
with the
out,
ball.
Brought
bro.
an extension cord over, he's plugged
What?
in, he's beating his dick off, getting drunk. He's like, ugh. How do you wake, even if no one found him, how do you wake up from that?
Yeah. What am I doing?
Why do I keep doing this? The VHS has popped out because it it stops, it rewinds, and it pops out. And he's sitting there, he's like, pushes back in, round two, takes his onions, covered himself in a blanket. The police were called, and the sound of sirens woke the man up, giving him.
Bro, nah, this dude is sick, bro. He's sick. He talking about so he puts the DVD back in, covers himself with the blanket, bro. No, that's sick work. That's sick work, bro. Like, you that damn bad, bro. Like, damn. I don't even know what to say to that.
Just enough time to hide to one of the empty units. He had previously been given keys to all the vacant units in the facility after helping the manager move some things.
What?
Oh, now he's the key master too. You helped me move a box, so here's every key to every unit. The same man had been seen just a few days earlier naked and unconscious in front of a different unit, but no action was taken. Damn, dude. That's a minotaur. That's a labyrinth I would not want to walk into. Can you imagine like sitting there and grab your stuff?
I'd be scared. I don't know. I'd run away probably.
If I saw a naked passed out guy, yeah. Well, I'd probably call 911 because like, hey, there's a dead naked guy. After the police left, he emerged from the hiding and confronted the owner for calling them, only to be kicked off the property for living inside the unit. I like how he had the audacity to be like, dude, really? Or you're gonna call the cops? Cool, man. I thought we were cool. He has like a giant keyring. Does this mean nothing to you? I'm never helping move your.
He told me, I thought we were boys, bro. Like, we aren't boys, bro. Like, I helped you move like everything into that shit, man. Let's fuck, bro.
Hot Wheels again, man. Hot Wheels, Matchbox cars, not doing it, dude. NASCAR, I'm not doing none of it. Not moving the cars anymore, man. In another unit, a tenant was evicted after the manager discovered bloody handprints and smears stretching from the front to the back of the unit. According to the manager, the space was packed to the ceiling, forcing the tenant to climb over her belongings to reach items in the back. In the process, she would cut her wrist and body on exposed roofing and metal
Jesus
walls, leaving streaks of blood behind as she
Christ.
crawled out. That's I completely understand though. Am I gonna take everything out? Just crawl over it. Yeah, I got cut up a bit, but I'll be okay. I wonder what if she died in there? It's like a saw trap trying to get to your Furbies in the back.
No, real rap, you just
Back in
bleed out at a
2008,
certain
an obese
point.
60-year-old woman. Why are you looking at me? Back in 2008, an obese 60-year-old woman came into the front office to pay her bill when she tripped and had the front door pin her to the floor. What does that even mean? How did it pin her to the floor?
I'm guessing she like tripped and the door broke and then.
Staff rushed over to help her up. She was screaming and hollering in pain. Ah! The general manager was the first to reach her, freeing her leg from the door. Once free, she was dragged further into the lobby and rolled onto her back like a manatee. She tried to get up on her own, but she was so large that her gut prevented her from sitting up. Preach. Staff described her situation as rolling around on her back like a turtle and could not get up. That's a quote. That's not.
Bro, that's actually like. See, that's why niggas need to get in the gym, bro. There's no reason that she should be that goddamn big that you can trip and not get up on your own, bro. Even, bro, he told us she was stuck with her back like a turtle. Nah,
Even that's a legitimate
wild,
quote.
bro.
Rolling her back like a turtle. I they're just watching her. And they're just looking at her like, let's just wait for her to die. Eventually, the manager pulled her up off the ground, and staff were checking her over to make sure that she was all right. Eventually,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Chat. What y'all doing with those, chat? Chat, what y'all doing with those? What you doing with those, chat? Comment down below what y'all doing with those, chat.
The manager pulled her up off the ground, and staff were checking her over to make sure that she was all right when they noticed that she had pissed herself during the fall and soiled her pink sweatpants.
Bro, we're in a simulation, bro. No way.
You fell down, you got pinned, I'm gonna piss myself. All right? That's not even an act of rebellion, that's just the
what, were you
facts. After she was
scared,
deemed
bro?
okay, she paid her rent, but moved out about a month later. Because why? How embarrassing is that? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking embarrassed every time I come in here. There's a girl rolling her back like a turtle and pissed herself, and we got it on camera. Renters can be a pain in the ass because of their behavior and odd possessions, but sometimes evictions are not enough punishment for these depraved people. There are numerous bizarre and horrific renter crimes. Tenants and managers don't always see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean they can't get along. Eric Adams worked at the 1 in 5 mini
yeah,
storage near
he's
Portland,
up to some
Oregon
shit.
for 15 years and was liked by most of the tenants. After about 5 days without hearing from Eric, a friend drove to check on him. He opened his storage unit and found
That
Eric
nigga
dead
dead.
on the floor.
Yup.
Police determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma from items found in his own unit. Suspicion grew when none of Eric's valuables were taken, suggesting it wasn't a robbery. His death would remain a mystery for a year until police gained access to the keypad records and found that one tenant was at the facility.
Bro, I was about to say, you're not about to tell me this man went out just because, like, he bumped into some shit and something fell on his head, bro. There's no way. And even so, who sets up a storage unit that poorly, bro? There's no way. Like, a year and they didn't know, like, how he died? Come on, bro.
During Eric's final moments. Rob Caputa had entered the facility around the same time that Eric did, but after an hour, only one left. He was a long-term tenant at his unit since 2019, averaging about 55 items per month. But after Eric's last signed in, he avoided facility for 3 weeks.
Damn.
Not good, Rob. Suspicious activity, Robert. Rob was eventually arrested after DNA was found on Eric's body and was sentenced to 3.5 years in jail.
That's it?
That seems short. In court, it was revealed that Rob killed Eric after someone ran over his dog at the storage facility, and he blamed Eric for its death. He fucking John Wicked him. He doesn't know if it's Eric. He's just like, you have to die. Another man in North Carolina was locked in his unit for days without food or water by his girlfriend.
Damn.
Women, man.
In 2024, police responded to a call at the Cooper storage compound from a man who claimed that he was locked inside his girlfriend's storage unit. When they opened the door, they found ڨłǒxidine, weak and emaciated, on the floor. He had been surviving in the unit for days with no supplies until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find what?
How big was that
I
store?
mean,
10 by 10? I like
no
how I
way.
imagine the first day he was just like,
How did he find his
I wonder if on the
phone?
last day he was just like, I really should look for my phone, actually. I'm not gonna die here. After his rescue, his girlfriend Robin Deaton was arrested and charged with attempting murder and kidnapping. However, after the charges went public, Gary spoke to the media and claimed that the accusations were bogus. He said he had simply fallen asleep in the unit and his girlfriend had locked it without realizing he was inside.
Cat.
Come on, Gary. The pussy can't be that good, dude. This was in complete contrast to what he said in the 911 call, where he claimed his girlfriend was trying to kill him. When the case went to court, the charges were dropped after Gary had admitted to lying, and the couple was able to walk free. I'm telling you, that is some diabolical fucking sniz, dude. Holy shit.
Yo.
That snoo is better than Kobayashi. If you think padlocks are going to keep your stuff safe, then you're mistaken, because break-ins happen all the time at storage facilities.
I
A traveling
believe it.
nurse in Colorado had $80,000 worth of stuff stolen over an 8-day period from extra space storage. She lost furniture, medical equipment, family heirlooms, and even her engagement ring.
Damn.
Police responded to the
Bro,
break.
I ain't gonna lie, at a certain point, that's your fault. Who keeps an engagement ring in a storage unit, bro? Who keeps an engagement ring in a storage unit? Bro, that's some shit that go in a safe or something. And I'm not gonna lie, like, what other stuff do y'all think was in there? Like, she said medical equipment. What was it, like fucking heart monitor machines? Like, a pulse reader or some shit? I don't like, fuck.
And added her case to the long list of 55 previous incidents reported at the facility that year. Since the incidents
That's
were reported,
wild.
no other break-ins have occurred as the facility upgraded security. Oh, did you? With what money? $80,000 worth of stuff is what I think. That's what I'd be suspicious of too. The people that work there, they see you bringing in stuff. What is this?
No,
oh, just like my
facts.
grandpa's.
And they definitely got, like, the master key to everything. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I ain't gonna lie, yo, that's a good ass point. I didn't even think about that. Those are the ones you gotta look out for. Cause, like, I was about to say, who's crazy enough to work at a storage unit? I deadass just said at the beginning of this video, I used to want to work at a storage.
Baseball card collection.
I mean, look at the guy who gave his fucking friend the keys to the castle to go fucking open.
Beating his dick off all day and fucking old boys ლიʀᴜᴜ dude. At a different extra space storage in California, 4 people lost thousands of dollars worth of stuff after thieves cut through thin sheet metal walls with a saw. One of the victims claimed the thieves stole most of the audio equipment, including TVs, car stereos, and mixing boards. Police wonder how the criminals were able to pull off the heist because although units are indoors, have a code at the front door, and they are equipped with cameras everywhere. California appears to be a hotspot for criminal storage activity. Just a couple hundred miles south of the last break-in, Steve Bohannon and his nephew purchased an abandoned locker for $80 at auction and were excited to flip whatever was inside. They were greeted with a bunch of boxes that read, "Danger, poisonous." What is that, Uncle? After opening them up, they discovered that every single box inside the container was filled with meth, beakers, and safety equipment. Thank God.
Wow.
Steve called the police to report his discovery, and they arrived in full hazmat gear to safely remove all the drugs and the equipment. I just want to say, this is not me actually saying it, but don't get an extra storage thing. Extra storage seems like a scam. That's not me saying it. Disclaimer, I'm not really saying that, but extra storage seems like a bad place to keep your stuff. I wouldn't do that. Not that I would say that. Everything I'm saying is a lie. It might just be best to keep all your stuff at home and not risk enduring the horrors of modern day storage facilities. Between unruly guests and incompetent managers, you never know what you're gonna get. And if you're not careful, you might just lose everything. However, if you need to rent a storage unit, make sure to do your research. And if you're choosing to live in one, Godspeed.
If you live in a storage unit right now, send pics and record your setup.
Actually, that's true. If you do live in a storage unit, please tag me on social media so I can see it. Post it to our subreddit. And then also just type in Phoenix Foxtrot Harbinger in the comment section. And only us Papa Meat stands will know what you're talking about. Godspeed. Phoenix Foxtrot Harbinger.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of have like disassociated near the end. W video, that shit was actually crazy. Oh my god, like I ain't gonna lie, I low-key think I just developed the fear of storage units, bro. I think I deadass just developed the fear of storage units. But shout out me, King. Shout out fucking.
Get them going, coughing up the slugs. Niggas